Hey, and welcome back everyone. Today we're focusing on creating a video in Canvas, specifically using Canvas Studio. And my pitch today is that you will be able to do this in under 5 minutes. And we'll actually do a timer just to check this out to show you how quickly you can create one or more videos for your fall classes, your winter, spring, summer classes, whenever you're watching this particular video. So we'll start that clock once we actually finish creating the video. We'll do the upload. I'll show you how to embed that in a module. And I'm not making any bets, but I think we can do this under 5 minutes. Not this whole video. Of course, I cannot make a video under 5 minutes. That's a little joke for some of you out there who love my super long videos. By the way, all the videos are time indexed on YouTube, so you can always jump around to points that you want to. So I just want to mention, in addition to the video today, you should go to ltccteachingandlearning.com and check out the one-pager tab. You'll specifically find this one-pager that has currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different videos that cover everything from creating a video, the basics, doing it in Zoom, doing location video. And in addition, I have my new Educational Futures series coming out that I'm offering 3 videos, including one on multi-camera setups that I think you're going to really enjoy, particularly for those of you in science or art, or maybe people who want to have multiple locations at the same time. Keep in mind with Zoom, you can't do that. Zoom, you can switch camera from one camera to the next, but you can never have them working simultaneously. So that's one advantage of using something like open broadcasting software. So check out that other one pager if you're at all interested in the other videos in this series here, creating any kind of videos for your classes. So keep in mind that we do need to have valuable instructor-student contact. The Accrediting Commission, the ACCJC, is very clear on this. When colleges get accredited, we go in and look at classes to make sure instructors or students are talking to one another, engaging. It's not a correspondence class, and that's very important to remember. Now, in addition, there's even a higher standard at the state level under Title V, which is our education code, that says specifically not only instructor-student contact, but student-student contact, which would be things like a discussion, a project, a critique group in an English class, a composition class, something like that. So for our purposes today, let's talk about instructor-student contact and some of the ways that you can engage with your students. So video, I would argue, is a primary means of doing this. Now, discussions also work. So if you're doing discussion boards, and you're not so concerned about multimedia, which is fine, I would argue some multimedia is actually very good for your students in terms of engaging them in audiovisual pedagogy and modalities of learning. But if you're doing text-based discussions using the discussion tab in Canvas, just be sure that you are actively involved with students. If you set up your discussion board and the students are replying to one another, that's great. It's fulfilling student-to-student contact, but it's not fulfilling instructor-student contact. So technically, if you set up a discussion board and you never engage with your students, you're not actually instructing in the class. You're not actually teaching. It's a correspondence class because the students are teaching themselves. So I know it's been an issue in years past, and hopefully we're improving on that just in terms of trying to really improve that pedagogy in terms of the instructor-student contact. Now, video is clearly another means to engage with your students. If you're doing live Zoom sessions, they're a wonderful way to do a tutorial, to show something on your screen, to take students through software, and of course to also give them a lecture, perhaps with a PowerPoint as well. So Zoom sessions have the potential to have really positive instructor-student contact. In addition, keep in mind that you can do a live Zoom, and then as long as you have it set up, Zoom will always record the session for you, whether you use the Zoom tool or Confer Zoom. I just did a video on that, so check that out. And then all you have to do is give the students the link to that, or they can find it themselves in a lot of cases with Confer Zoom and how it records the lectures. So a lot of positive things to certainly say about Zoom continuing into the future. Now today, let's talk about instructor-student contact that specifically is a pre-recorded video. So this is what we call asynchronous. It means it's not happening at the same time that the students are watching it. You're not recording it at that same time. So it's asynchronous as opposed to the synchronous Zoom sessions that many of you do in your classes. So we're talking about pre-recorded videos. They could be tutorials, they could be lectures, they could be conversations that you're trying to engage with your students. I often will do this as a welcome video. We love welcome videos. I know that we stress that a lot in DE education at the college. And then other instructors recently in 2020 here in the summer have asked me, what about doing a weekly module video to introduce a module? I think it's a great idea because you're making contact with your students. They see who you are. They understand your philosophy. They get your perspective on things. And they're also learning something. So it really does two things at once in terms of creating contact and also helping your students to understand material and your perspectives on material. So we'll jump to the web now. And one thing I want to mention, so we're going to look at first, I'll just mention to you before we get into the Canvas Studio, you can always record something using the Rich Content Editor. A little bit of a warning, Canvas is rolling out the new Rich Content Editor. It'll officially take place or get loaded, it's in beta now, in January of 2021. So really the start of winter quarter. We'll have to see how this works out so that we can engage with all of you to make sure you understand the new content editor. The features are the same, but the layout is a little more user-friendly. You can actually go on right now and beta test it if you want to. There's some settings in Canvas if you want to check it out early. I still have mine set on the old classic content editor. So we'll take a look at that. And again, I am going to have a timer today. This was inspired by, there's a organization called Fact Magazine, and they do something called Against the Clock, and it's musicians who have 20 minutes to do a track from scratch. And the curious thing is some of them are really good tracks, some of them are not so good. So I'm going to argue today we can do the video in 5 minutes, and I hope, cross my fingers, that that will include processing time. So we'll see. So let's first start off, let's go to Canvas, and we'll go to one of my class shells. We'll go to my Fall Anthro 106 class shell. Cool thing about Canvas is there's so many different ways to do things like video and audio. So the good news is you can decide on your own, custom tailor it for your own approaches and what you like working with in terms of tools. We all do that with our software, with our workspaces, and so forth. Okay, so now let's jump into Canvas and talk about how to make your under 5-minute video using Canvas Studio. Again, Canvas Studio is going to be listed by me as the preferred approach, but we'll first look at the Rich Content Editor just in case you want to use it for something really quick, like even grading. Now, let me give you a bit of a warning here. If you try to open the Canvas Studio or I think the Rich Content Editor video editor, you might run into some issues and you might get an error message not unlike this one here that says unsupported browser. I know that's 100% true for Canvas Studio, so always use Google Chrome because if you use Safari or another browser, you might have an issue. So Google Chrome is your best bet in terms of working with Canvas Studio and really any of the video applications we're talking about. So to show you what this looks like, I'm not going to start the timer yet, but let's take a sample module page. So what we're discussing today really should happen ideally in a module. Of course, you could put this in announcements too. A lot of places to put content in Canvas. It's a really open user system such that you could work in multiple different places and accomplish the same thing. A lot of that happens through content. Content is text, content could be videos, content could be websites, applications, and so forth. I mentioned earlier that eventually this will go away starting in January, so we'll talk about that when the interface, the GUI, the graphic user interface of the Rich Content Editor will change. We'll talk about that later. In a second, I'll show you the blue V for doing Canvas Studio to insert content here in a page that can be inserted in a module. But let's look at the Record Upload Media feature. This uses Flash, and Flash is a somewhat old technology, so this is another reason I would say you should really move towards using Canvas Studio. Plus, Canvas Studio is an aggregator. It's an archive, a database, not unlike a filing cabinet, where you can put all your videos in one place, organize them into collections, and then spread that content out in your various classes how you like. So you can't really do that with the Record Upload Media comment. It just sticks it in a very non-user friendly way in whatever page of content you have. That being said, it's really quick. So all I would do is And just choose my webcam, whatever that is. If I only have one plugged in, that's not going to be an option. And strangely enough, I actually have a second webcam plugged in. It's not recognizing it. And that also leaves me some concerns just about how good this particular record upload media comment tool is. But all I do is I record. You'll see a little meter here showing you your audio level. I will hit start recording. It does that. Let me hit finish. And then I can call it something, and then hit save. Once I do that, I could save it here, and then no processing time, the student would play this, and that is the video. So it's okay, it's fine, it's quick. Obviously, I did that in less than 1 minute, but let me argue for using Canvas Studio. So to use Canvas Studio, you'll go to your side tabs here. This may look different depending on your user settings. I have an admin setting here, for example, that you likely don't have. Click on Canvas Studio. So every single user on campus has their own unique Canvas Studio tab that holds their collections and videos only. When you first open up Canvas Studio, you'll see all your videos, and then you have some options to filter results, not unlike other programs. You could filter by name, so alphabetize as you see, A, E, G, S, V. You can also do it by date added, so the most recent one will show up first. Anytime I want to go in, and these are all old, I can go in, I can share this with someone. If I share the collection, it's kind of cool because then I can share this with colleagues. If you have someone who's teaching for you, one of the quickest ways to get a collection to your colleagues is right through the share collection. Essentially, it acts as a repository of all of our media files. And it's not unlike a filing cabinet where I could have all my classes stored and I pull out my manila folders for the class that I want that particular resource to be used in. So this is really great with sharing with departmental colleagues or other work colleagues at LTCC. I can also delete, and I can rename collections. I'll delete this, I don't need it. I don't have really good naming conventions here. You should certainly, when you create a video, name them appropriately. A collection would be a set of videos that you would like to use in a given context. So I could have one just for Anthro 106, and then all I would do is add videos to it. If I wanted to, I could browse those from my media files, or probably more likely, better yet, I'll go back to these particular recordings and I could move it to one of my collections. So I can move it to Anthro 106, and then once I do that, I would want to just view by collections, and then I could see any of the videos for Anthro 106. It's very similar to what you see on YouTube when you have playlists, this graphic interface. It shows you the first 4 videos. Pinterest has some similar systems where you look at a collection and you see those. So it's really handy if you want to organize everything by class name, or if you're teaching or running a particular department and you want to have certain videos for certain workers, for certain classified staff, certain faculty, certain students, you could do all that via collections. So very handy. So that's it as far as organization of videos. As you can see, it's really easy to work with in terms of videos, collections, and your viewing options here in Canvas Studio. I haven't started the stopwatch yet because we're just looking at the main features. We'll start it here. We'll I'll start it in 1 second, because when I start the record feature, I want to just go over as a means of review what you're going to see. I have another video on Canvas Studio and on other videos, so again, go to that one pager on ltccteachingandlearning.com and check out all the video resources. So when I first start here, I have a search. I can search my video collections, not unlike searching my channel on YouTube. I can add media. This will be to add anything from YouTube that I want to be stored. Also, I can choose a video file. I would browse to my computer, and anything I possibly have, I would load that in. And then there is some processing time that takes place. So it will upload it. Once it's done, it'll let me know that it's there. I'm actually going to delete that because I don't need that to be in my video collections. So the add button is very basic. The one button you'll use then to record all your videos on your computer is the record button. Two options pop up when you click it: screen capture or webcam capture. This is no different than the screen share feature, say, in Zoom. A webcam capture will be just my webcam. And in all cases, when you get to the next screen, you have some choices you can make. And so if I click on webcam capture, that's going to be just me. Here's why Canvas Studio immediately I can show you is way better than using the record upload media. What do you note here? My webcam here is actually appearing as an option. And what I can do is I can choose here if I want my FaceTime camera to give the head-on shot here. This is the camera directly coming out of my Mac. Or I click on my other attached webcam and it does the same thing. Now keep in mind here, you can't do simultaneous video captures. You want to do that, you have to use OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, and I have a video coming out very shortly on that. So you're seeing a disadvantage even of Canvas Studio. It's not full-fledged. It's very basic, but hey, it's pretty good for just recording some videos, tutorials, and so forth here in our Canvas class. So if I want to start a recording, I would just hit Start Recording. I get a 3, 2, 1 countdown timer, and then we're live. The minute I'm done, I hit Finish. I can call it something. I hit Save, and again, a little bit of upload time. This one will be quick because it was a really short video. But look how quick that was. That's absolutely amazing, right? There could be some processing time. I click on that video to view it, and I can hit the play button, and it goes. I can choose the volume, the playback speed, toggle comments on and off, and I can do a full screen if I choose to do that. So that didn't take me any time at all. Very easy to do. Once we take this video and any videos in your collections in Canvas Studio, we can put those on a module page, and that's where it gets really cool in terms of doing student quizzes based on videos, or even sections, time sections in videos, and then this comment section, which is super cool. The captioning is also available, really good captioning, and then you can do viewer insights. This is not unlike analytics you'll get through Google and through YouTube, so really cool features there. So we can go back to our collections. Again, we'll see that video available. So if we want to do a recording that is a combination, or is just a screen recording, instead of webcam capture, click screen capture. Okay, so now at this point, I have some options. I can choose a selection of the screen just by using the circle here with the dashed lines. And that's not unlike your screen share options in Zoom, where you can resize and choose the selection window. At this point, unlike the last option when I click just on webcam, I can select 3 options. It's a little weird. They don't give you that option when you start the previous recording that we did, which is just your webcam. So I could go back to just my webcam, or I could do both. Both is going to be handy, allowing a mini window, and you do need to figure out where that mini window is going to live. I could choose my webcam view or FaceTime. So I could choose either camera. Again, I cannot do simultaneous. And once I have my camera choice there, I have my screen choice here. I can go to my settings. I can choose options with a microphone if I have a USB microphone plugged in, or other audio devices. Typically, you don't have to mention or mess with that. I can choose the size. I really do recommend high quality. Do not ever do 480. Do 720p or higher. I like to choose a really high resolution in my case, because I like having this for editing my videos in Final Cut Pro later. If I choose full screen, I have no option. It just does the entire screen, 1440p. Whereas if I do 1080p, I have that selection window. I can also go in and do drawing in real time if I like that as well, if that's something you want to do for a tutorial. That could be really handy if you're doing a software tutorial. You can draw in real time, and then that will appear in the final video that gets stored here in Canvas Studio. And so once I hit record, it'll give me the countdown timer again, 3, 2, 1, and then I'm starting. I could hit pause, and when I'm done, I hit the done button. And then here, I could call it something else, give it a description, and hit the upload. Once I start uploading, it will tell me when it's done. I can hit continue, and then when I click on that, the same thing with the view. I hit play, and then I'm starting. And that is it. And as you see, where I decide to put my little image of myself, either from a webcam or my FaceTime camera on my computer, I can't change that later. So that's one disadvantage of using this approach in Canvas Studio, as opposed to using open broadcasting software, where I can really customize things on the fly and have more power over where things appear on the screen in the final video. My recommendation for this is when you go to the record on your screen capture and you choose your both option, to really think about putting that in a place, your camera, in a place where it's not going to interfere. So I obviously do not want to stick this here, and if I do that, let's try that. We will hit record and you'll see where it's going to be. Okay, here's the test. I don't like the placement of my camera window, but I'm going to hit done. We will name it. We'll hit upload. These are short videos. Typically, if you do a half-an-hour video or something, it could take, depending on your upload speed on your computer, quite a few minutes, even a half an hour to do this. So hit continue, and we can go back to our library. At any time, click on that tab. It'll take you back. And here's our test. So as you can see, it's really not a good placement of our window. It's right in the middle of the screen. I can't adjust that in post-production at any level. And so that's why for me, doing the high-level video stuff I do, I have all my camera recordings, and then in post-production, I can move things around wherever I want. Again, that takes a lot of software knowledge and a lot of time. So for the purposes of doing videos in Canvas Studio, my recommendation is start your recording and immediately, make a note to yourself, because you can't redo this after the fact. Take your webcam camera and put that up in the right-hand corner or left-hand corner, somewhere away from your capture area. Now, just to show you, if I stick it outside the capture area, you're seeing the dashed lines here. Let's try that. I'm forgetting where it's going to put it in the final version, so let's just let this record for a couple of seconds. We'll hit pause. We'll call it something. And I think what's going to happen is it's going to be invisible because we didn't have it in the capture area. But let's see, I could be wrong on this. I haven't used this feature in this sense. So we'll give it a try right now. Our video here could take a little time to process. And let's see where it puts my image. Okay, it auto did that. Remember when I did the initial version of this, I actually put my webcam camera, video of myself, I had placed it not in a good spot. I put it outside of the capture area. So it appears as if Canvas Studio will default pull it in because it knows that you want it. And it's actually pretty smart putting it down here because it knows it shouldn't be in the middle of the screen. So you could probably just let the default happen or put it where you like. Maybe you want it here or here. Just don't put it in a spot that's going to cover up the information that you want your students to see if you're doing like a software tutorial. So that's very easy to do. There isn't a lot of technical knowledge here in terms of what you have to do or learn. So let's do our time test right now because again, I'm making the claim that start to finish we could do this in under 5 minutes. So what we'll do for this is we'll start in Canvas Studio. We will do a quick recording of a video. I'm going to do a 1-minute video, let's say, that will be a sample welcome video for my class. And then I'm going to save that and name it here in Canvas Studio. I'm then going to click back on my dashboard to get to my class. Again, as I've said in this video, Canvas Studio only holds all your content for all your purposes. It doesn't care where you use them. When you use the content, think of this as the filing cabinet with all my files for all my classes. This is Canvas Studio. It aggregates all of your video data and resources. Then when I go back to my dashboard and click on my individual class, that's where I decide what information, which folders to pull out of my filing cabinet, my Manila folders, my lectures, my videos in this case, and then I place those elements inside my class. So Canvas Studio is totally irrespective of classes. It's not based on the classes you teach. It is your video archive, not unlike a mini version of YouTube. So keep that in mind because people confuse your class content with your aggregated video content and media content that's in Canvas Studio. This is class agnostic, if there's ever such a use. I think that's the first time I've used that, class agnostic, but it doesn't care about what classes you're teaching or where these are going to go in the future. It's saving all your resources for a later use in your class. Okay, so we're going to start this. I'm going to start the stopwatch, and I hope I can do this in under 5 minutes start to finish. And watch my process. You can use a similar process here when you're doing this in your class. I won't do any tutorial on top of this. I'll just show you really what it looks like. Hi everyone, and welcome to this class this quarter, Anthropology 106. This class is visual anthropology, and in this particular class you'll be learning about theories of visual culture. You're going to learn about culture anthropology and how visual anthropologists draw on the techniques, tools, theories, and methods of cultural anthropologists to understand the significance of culture at visual levels. I hope as you start this class out, you'll be able to appreciate the important tasks that visual anthropologists undertake when they try to study visual culture around them. To get started in the class, I'd like you to first read the syllabus in the class, be aware of all of my various policies that you need to abide by, and take a look at the module structure. Once you get into the module structure, I will have for each of the 11 weeks of the quarter an introduction video not unlike this video here. So when you're done with that, click on Module 1 and watch my Module 1 video. Good luck, and I really am excited about having you in this class this quarter, Anthropology 106, Visual Anthropology. Now I'm going back to my class, and we're going to publish that in my module. So at this stage, I know I said I wasn't going to talk on top of this, but you'll want to go to the blue video and go to the second from the bottom, which is Canvas Studio. This will allow you to pull in any content in any page in Canvas. What I'm going to do is select my welcome video. I can choose to allow comments or not, and I can embed it. If I want it to be downloadable, I can choose that option. I'm going to hit Save and Publish. And then once I do that, I can go back to my module, click on my test video. The video appears. Students hit play. Hi everyone, and welcome to this class. And it's done. Anthropology 106. So there you go, right there, start to finish, including processing time, 3 minutes, 41 seconds. So what that means is we have no excuses to not do videos in our classes. You can do a video start to finish, including the recording, albeit a 1-minute video, in 3 minutes and 41 seconds. And if it takes you 5 or 10 minutes, it's still pretty good. So at this point in Canvas Studio, I've inserted the video in my module content. And what I love about this is students can type in comments at a particular part in the video. I can say, hey, students, check out at a particular section in the video, wherever I stick my cursor, just like YouTube chapter indexing that is allowable now on YouTube. Any point in the video, I can then put that comment. I hit the comment at that point, and guess what? It appears there. If I do another one at 22 seconds in the video, and call that something, or comment, it appears there. So this is a super powerful tool right here in Canvas Studio that you're not going to find in a lot of other tools out there. YouTube, you can do it, but it takes a lot of work. So all I have to do is click at that point in the video, and that could be an area where if students are struggling with a tutorial that you just uploaded to Canvas Studio, you could go in after the fact and say, hey, I know a lot of people were struggling with how to do layers in Photoshop. Well, go to this point in the video here, and that's where I discuss it, and you could review that concept here. So that's really cool. And again, other students could also make comments connected to anything that you happen to have in the video. You can also go in and edit the details, change the title, descriptions, add tags if you want, which could be useful for students searching for information. Again, you can index this with your own comments. You can go in and adjust volume, playback speed, comments on and off, the media quality and full screen or not. And then you can use all these options here to get insights about who's been viewing the videos and so forth. If you want more information about doing quizzes in Canvas Studio videos, please check out my additional video under the one-pagers and video focused on Canvas Studio, which is a much more in-depth approach to all this information. So the point I've been trying to make today using my countdown timer is in a very short period of time, you can start to finish create a video in Canvas Studio. You can upload that. You can go back to your class, go to your modules, and very easily insert something like a welcome video. What I might recommend you do is once you've created your welcome video, as I did there, go back to each of your weeks if you've organized your class in modules with weeks and create a specific video that is called maybe week 1 video. And that is your introduction. And do that for every module. And by the way, if you know you're going to do a specific structure, as I do in Canvas, where every week there's a topic followed by a map, a readings, bonus, films, etc., the best way to do this is to create your module structure up front rather than later. The cool thing is Canvas remembers your last instance in terms of a text string. So the next time I create for module 2, I don't have to type it in again. I don't have to go and choose in the menu page versus discussion. All I have to do is go back over this title, change the 1 to a 2, make sure there's a space in there maybe, and then guess what? It's available. I can do the same for week 3. I just change one character, which is the number, upping it by 1, and then I do that all the way through the class. That way I've saved probably 10-15 minutes of my time that I don't have to select page, I don't have to type in the new title or remember to cut and paste from my keyboard or something. So Canvas is very good about figuring out user-friendly approaches and allowing you to save a lot of time. So once you have that structure set up, you go back in and just aggregate all of your videos from Canvas Studio. So I would record my 11 week videos, and then I just go in, as I showed you before, the Rich Content Editor, click to the blue V, second from the bottom, Canvas Studio, and as quick as that, all my videos are available. If you use smart naming conventions when you first create your media and save it in Canvas Studio, it's going to be super easy. You don't have to dig around and figure out, like, if these were just all test videos, I don't know what those mean. So what I would want to do is create my welcome video, my 11 weekly videos for my modules, name them week 1 video, week 2 video, etc. Then when I get to this stage, all I have to do is hit select, I embed it in my page, I hit save or save and publish depending on where I'm at in the process, and the video is now available for me. So it's just super easy because everything really is already set up ahead of time because you recorded all of your videos and now you just have to plop them in their appropriate places here in modules. So hopefully in the video today I showed you just how easy it is to record class videos. The focus of this video is also on effective instructor-student contact and interaction. So just be sure whatever method you use in your class, ranging from discussions, videos, or other fora where students and instructors can talk and interact with one another, just be sure that you have a very interactive and immersive approach for your students. They'll appreciate you for the personalization of things. They'll appreciate you because you're really putting an effort in and showing them that you care by engaging with them on a daily basis, or at least every couple days, depending on your approach to teaching your class. So that is it for today. As always, if you have questions, reach out to me. We can set up a Zoom to talk about the value of some of these approaches that I discussed today. So good luck in your classes, and I'll be back shortly with another video.